Has French President Macron questioned Northern Ireland's status as part of the UK? The British government is outraged. Great Britain has intensified the dispute with the EU over special rules for Northern Ireland with serious allegations. Foreign Minister Dominic Raab accuses EU politicians at the weekend of questioning the territorial unity of the United Kingdom. EU leaders, however, urged Prime Minister Boris Johnson on the sidelines of the G7 summit with clear words to keep agreements. Both sides have to implement what we have agreed, said EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen on Saturday after talking to Johnson. The EU is absolutely in agreement on this issue. French President Emmanuel Macron also warned that Great Britain must keep the word given to the Europeans and respect the framework of the Brexit treaty. Chancellor Angela Merkel also referred to the contract in an interview or in a meeting with Johnson. Johnson, however, threatened to take further unilateral measures and expressly did not rule out drawing the agreed emergency clause for the Irish border, the so-called Article 16. Well, he can't. Have a look at my live stream, then you know why. That would trigger controls on the border between Northern Ireland and the EU member Ireland. The Prime Minister told Sky News that some EU politicians do not understand that the UK is a country. I have to get that into their heads, he said. Johnson sees the ball on the EU side. The EU must be clear that we will do what is necessary, said Johnson. Yeah, right. The reason for the dispute is the Johnson Protocol, which was agreed just a few months ago and is part of the Brexit treaty. It is intended to prevent controls on the border between Northern Ireland and the EU state Ireland. The aim was to avoid new tensions in the former Civil War region. However, the agreements have now created a customs border just for goods with the rest of the UK, which has led to trade barriers. As a result, there were already riots, mostly Protestant supporters of the union with Great Britain. Foreign Minister Raab called on the EU to show respect. We have seen in rows how leading EU representatives talked about Northern Ireland as if it was a different country, said Raab on Sunday to the broadcaster Sky News. Well, before I comment what he's commenting on there, we shouldn't go into deep because we will not stir the whole thing up. But Northern Ireland is on the Irish island. And there is a reason why we have the Good Friday Agreement the way it is created. And there is a reason why there can be a border poll in that agreement. Because it is not a normal part of the UK. Just to keep that one clear. Well, but Raab and Johnson were referring to statements by Macron, according to the BBC, in which the French president allegedly did not identify Northern Ireland as a real part of the United Kingdom. Specifically, it is about the export of British sausage products to Northern Ireland, which has been subject to controls since Brexit. Johnson compared the deliveries between Great Britain and Northern Ireland with goods shipments between Toulouse and Paris. The Élysée Palace announced on a request that Macron had replied that the two French cities belonged to a geographical unit, but Northern Ireland is on its own island. The president wanted to emphasize that the situation is very different and that such a comparison is not appropriate, they say. The EU has been accusing Great Britain of failing to implement Brexit agreements for months. Above all, Brussels criticizes the fact that agreements to control the movement of goods between Northern Ireland and the other parts of the United Kingdom are not being complied with. A diplomatic row, then, that could have been avoided entirely, this weekend at least, stoked up by the UK. President Macron left irritated, telling reporters at his closing press conference that the two sides should stop wasting time on disputes about sausages when there are bigger global issues to tackle, pointedly telling Mr. Johnson, "Let's not waste time with controversies that are created in corridors and backrooms." The singular ambition of this summit is to demonstrate that the world's wealthy liberal democracies can work together. The G7 a force for good in a world beset by problems. And there was some progress on the vaccination program as well as pitch rolling to implement the 2009 Copenhagen commitment, which pledged to give 100 billion a year from public and private sources to help developing countries to transition to green energy. in time for COP26 in November. But it's true too that the row over the implementation of the Brexit deal repeatedly disturbed this summit. And it's true too that these European leaders and President Biden too are united in their differences with Mr. Johnson over the post-Brexit settlement. The host of this summit learned that global Britain, when you're no longer part of the gang, is a lonely place to be. An opportunity missed. London had extended transition periods without prior agreement, during which food from Great Britain is not checked on arrival in Northern Ireland. The government justified the move by stating that supplies in the British region were otherwise at risk. The Irish Prime Minister, the Taoiseach Micheál Martin, believes that an early breakthrough is possible. If the will is there, it's possible to find an amicable solution, said Martin on Sky News. He advised the British to rejoin the EU single market rules for plant and animal products. That would be the easiest way, but wouldn't fit with my video earlier today with the Australian food. That would remove 80% of the difficulties in trade between Northern Ireland and Britain. US President Joe Biden, who has Irish roots, and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau support the EU view that the agreement must be kept. The G7 will met until this Sunday, and those included the United States, Germany, Canada, United Kingdom, France, Italy and Japan, and the EU also participated. And I will see you in my next video. Auf Wiedersehen.